I know this girl really feeling my style. No strings attached, that's just how I get.
What's up? It's your boy S-clive, aka Juke Giovanni, and right now I'm about to go over how I made Heart So Cold.
It don't cost much to keep it real, don't be a liar. So if I'm in it, then I'm with it, I'm a rider. I had to separate my.
So first, I want to shout out, I don't know who you are, but Nick Mira. I was fishing for some loops, and I came across this loop called Nick Mira Friends and Family Loop Kit. And so I ran across and I immediately fell in love with that melody loop. I immediately fell in love with it because it sounded like a very intense, powerful story kind of song. So as soon as I heard this, I immediately knew what the bass was going to sound like, what the kick was going to sound like, how I wanted the snares to sound, all of that. So when I first played this, I said to myself, okay, this is a nice beat. However, I can't have this same melody played the whole entire time. So what I did was I half-timed it. It slows it down and it changes the pitch. So so doing this is gonna make the song sound more powerful. It's gonna make it sound more intense with the way it builds up, how the slow halftime builds up to the regular pitch melody loop. And so I just wanted to put some more extra things in it. I wanted to do something to the song to make it have some kind of different segment of the beat. And so I was looking, trying to find out what I should do, and I decided to do a goddamn reverse on the beat. So you're gonna hear that right now. Very powerful, part of the song, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to put that in there because it gave it more flavor. Not all the time can you reverse a melody. Sometimes it doesn't fit the song, sometimes it doesn't fit anything, sometimes it doesn't even sound good at all. But the fact that this sounded good, it fit the beat, was just a plus, you know what I'm saying? So with that, I already knew what the bass was gonna sound like. So I already knew what the bass was gonna sound like. I really wanted it to be simple. I wanted that shit to be the most simplistic but unique bass ever heard. So I kind of piggybacked off what I heard a long time ago from Lil Baby. I heard a song called Southside by Southside. So I wanted to put a kick to it, but I wanted the kick to be very loud and very powerful with the EQ. I wanted it to match the bass and not overpower the bass, but still be loud enough when you're playing the song. I wanted to have a subtle kind of snare, so I didn't really want to have those loud trap snares, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to put a snare that was very subtle, but you could still hear it when listening to the song. I wanted to have the clap kind of be very crispy, I like my claps to be crispy sometimes, just to give it that nice addition to the beat. And so with the hats, I wanted to do something very different. I usually do this all the time, and I don't see many people do it. I have two hats. One has more of a reverb kind of delay effect, and the other one is just a little less than that. So what I did, I did a very simple hat, and for the second hat, I wanted to add some extra stuff to it. Sounds very different and unique. And so I wanted to add a hi-hat. Something different about this, I don't have bleeding hats. I like to cut my hi-hats short, so it kind of gives it that kind of crispy cut kind of sound. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people use it for 808s and stuff like that. I like to use it for my hi-hats. I wanted to put a trap bell just to give it that classic trap feel. So all the percussions. And finally, for the producer tag, I wanted to use my tag. I kind of remixed it a little bit so it sounds different. I put different pitches into it.
S-clive on the beat, bruh.
You don't really hear it that much. I feel like the only people who really use the pre-delay reverb is like Tyga, Tory Lanez, people like that. Not many people use it, and altogether this is the beat.
S-clive on the beat, bruh.
So that was the Heart So Cold song. How I made the song, it was a very crazy kind of process of how I made the song. I was just sitting in my room and I was just listening to beats, preparing for the Anti-Predictable Lifestyle project. And, you know, my time was running out, you know what I'm saying? So what I did was I just listened to the song and I came up with the verse first, and I wanted to put the verse as the chorus. And I realized having the verse as the chorus is it didn't sound good because it sounded like a verse. So I was like, all right, let me just put this as a verse. And then I'm going to think of a chorus later. So I made the verse, and the verse really was just the realest shit I ever wrote. You know what I'm saying? It was about, you know, sometimes people can turn your heart cold, you know what I'm saying? And it's a crazy world. You know, the people that you love the most can turn their back on you and, you know, stab you behind your back and change how you think forever, you know what I'm saying? So, and it could be anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I had people in my life that I treat as my right-hand man, my blood, you know what I'm saying? You know, people that I would call my brother, sister, you know, they wouldn't treat me as I was treating them, and we kind of fell out simply because I didn't just want to be around that environment, but energy, and I didn't want to force myself to have a relationship with somebody, because if I got to force myself, then I shouldn't be in that relationship with that person at all, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's friend, homeboy, you know what I'm saying, family member, cousin, stuff like that, don't matter what it is, you know, if you have to force yourself to be in that relationship with that person, then you should not be in that relationship. So it was just the realest thing I ever wrote, and you know what I'm saying, you know, my heart's so cold. It was really how it is sometimes. Like, your heart can be cold sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt like people could relate to that, because, you know, there's times where people do bad things to other people, they hurt people, and that turns their heart cold. And so that's how I created that song. It's your boy S-clive. You can check me out on the Instagram at JUGGGIOVANNI. My latest project, my album, Anti-Predictable Lifestyle, is out. Go listen to that right now. iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. I got clothing, APL clothing, still available to sell. Hit me up if you need some. And new music on the way.
Cause much to keep it real, don't be a liar. So if I'm in it, then I'm with it, I'm a rider. I had to separate myself like a divider. I done got burned so many times playing with